Sedalia Democrat editor Dennis Rich recently spoke with Smith Cotton journalism students about his award-winning story on the Coffee Pot Cafe.
It's a really good example of digging for a story and not just taking what comes to you firsthand. You guys are going to go cover whatever stories you're going to cover. You're going to talk to people you're going to talk to. Let me mention something real briefly in that. Well, the thing that they mentioned may be the real kernel of the story. It may be really the most interesting part of what you got. What you guys were looking at is really a building collapse story. That's all it was when it came to me. Just slowly started to piece together that this building that I'd driven past 100 times, and it was just another downtown building that was empty and falling apart and eventually fell over. That there was a rich life to that building and that place that had left memories for a whole generation or a couple generations of Sedalians who had gone there for Mabel's Chicken on Sundays, and that was a regular Sunday tradition for a lot of people. So,
Rich explained that listening is a valuable commodity for good writing.
The more that you talk to people and the more you engage them, and really the most important thing is being able to listen and let people tell you their stories. And then you may find out that we won because my grandfather died and he was the one who got me into football, and that's why I was playing so hard. There's always more to the story, and if you really want to capture readers, and if you want to really write stories that are meaningful, that are going to have a lasting impact, you have to be willing to set it aside and really listen and be able to reach out and grab the real story and the full story that's there. So,
Rich also shared some note-taking techniques and talked about interviewing and ways to make good stories great.
If you have a 20-minute conversation with your friend, what were the high points of the conversation? What were the three main key, because that's really what you're going to build a story around, is 2 or 3 main points and some supporting quotes and what you may get from other sources. So if you're going to work on anything, work on trying to keep the flow conversation going. So that's where you really, people don't like to have their pictures taken. They don't like to be on TV. They don't like to be quoted in the newspaper because they're just like me and you and everybody else, self-conscious. So it can take a while to get somebody to warm up and really, once you get them in a position where they can tell you're excited and you're listening and that you care about the story that they're trying to tell you, usually their natural conversation will take over and the notepad will sort of disappear and the recording device will sort of disappear, and then you're able to really get the meat of the story.
For Sedalia School District 200, I'm Bob Satnin.